Quran and Hadith. The Quran is the last revealed word of God and the basic source of Islamic teachings and laws. The Quran deals with the basis of creeds, moralities, history of humanity, worship, knowledge, wisdom, the God-man relationship, and human relationship in all aspects. Comprehensive teachings on which can be built sound systems of social justice, economics, politics, legislation, jurisprudence, law, and international relations are important contents of the Holy Quran. Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, himself was an unlettered man who could not read or write. Yet the Holy Quran was committed to memory and writing by his followers under his supervision during his lifetime. The original and complete text of the Quran is available to everybody in Arabic, the language in which it was revealed. Translation of the meaning into many languages are widely used. Hadith, the teachings, sayings, and actions of Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, meticulously reported and collected by his devoted companions, explain and elaborate the Quranic verses. Concept of worship. Islam does not teach or accept mere ritualism. It emphasizes intention and action. To worship God is to know Him and love Him, to act upon His law in every aspect of life, to enjoin goodness and forbid wrongdoing and oppression, to practice charity and justice, and to serve Him by serving mankind. The Quran presents this concept in the following sublime manner. It is not righteousness that you turn your faces to the east or the west, but righteous is he who believes in God and the last day, and the angels, and the book, and the prophets, and gives his wealth for love of him to kinsfolk, and to orphans, and the needy, and the wayfarer, and to those who ask, and to set slaves free, and observes proper worship, and pays the zakah, and those who keep their treaty when they make one, and the patient in tribulation, and adversity, and time of stress. Such are those who are sincere. Such are the God-fearing. This is from the Holy Quran, the 2nd chapter, verse 177. Islamic way of life. Islam provides definite guidelines for all peoples to follow in all walks of life. The guidance it gives is comprehensive and includes the social, economic, political, moral, and spiritual aspects of life. The Quran reminds man of the purpose of his life on earth, of his duties and obligations towards himself, his kith and kin, his community, his fellow human beings, and his Creator. Man is given fundamental guidelines about a purposeful life, and then he is left with the challenge of human existence before him so that he might put these high ideals into practice. In Islam, man's life is a wholesome, integrated unit and not a collection of fragmented, competitive parts. The scared and secular are not separate parts of man. They are united in the nature of being human. Historical perspective. Muhammad, may the blessings and peace of Allah be upon him, was born in the year 570 of the Common Era in the city of Mecca in Arabia. He came of a noble family. He received the first revelation at the age of 40. As soon as he started preaching Islam, he and his followers were persecuted and had to face severe hardships. He was therefore commanded by God to migrate to Medina, another city in Arabia. During a short span of 23 years, he completed his mission of prophethood and died at the age of 63. He led a perfect life and set an example for all human beings, as his life was the embodiment of the Quranic teachings. Islam's rational appeal. Islam, in its clear and direct way of expressing truth, has a tremendous amount of appeal for any seeker of knowledge. It is a solution for all the problems of life. It is a guide towards a better and complete life, glorifying in all its phases God, the Almighty Creator and the Merciful Nourisher. Muslim population at a glance, 1975 estimates. For Africa, 224.2 million. Asia, 575.3 million. Europe, 20 million. North and South America and Australia, 4 million. The total, 823.5 million. There's been an increase on this, and the total figure now is estimated at just over 1 billion. The number of countries with over 50% Muslim population is 58. Now, in view of the growth in population during 9 years after 1975 and worldwide trend of conversion to Islam, Muslim population is to be believed to have risen over 1 billion. Islam, the solution of modern problems. The brotherhood of man. A major problem which modern man faces is that of racism. The materially advanced nations can send man to the moon, but they cannot stop man from hating and fighting his fellow man. Islam over the last 1400 years has shown in practice how racism can be ended. Every year during Hajj, the Islamic miracle of real brotherhood of all races and nations can be seen in action. The family. The family, which is the basic unit of civilization, is disintegrating in all Western countries. Islam's family system brings into a fine equilibrium the rights of man, wife, children, and relatives. Islam nourishes human unselfishness, generosity, and love in a well-organized family system. Unfragmented view of life. Human beings live according to their view of life. The tragedy of secular societies is that they fail to connect the different aspects of life. The secular and the religious, the scientific and the spiritual seem to be in conflict. Islam puts an end to this conflict and brings harmony to man's vision of life. The sword of Islam. Are you still in doubt about the popular notion that Islam was spread by the sword? Examine the following facts and you will come to believe, inshallah. The first few who embraced the new religion at the hands of the Prophet were his wife Khadija, his servant Sayyid, and his 11-year-old cousin Ali. Among the ones who later joined his faith in Mecca were the honest merchant Abu Bakr, the Iron Man of Arabia, Omar the Great, the shy businessman Uthman, Prophet's brave uncle Hamza, and the family of a pagan slave, Bilal. They simply couldn't resist the magic sword of a humble and lonely prophet. The negligible minority of the believers in this new faith were soon driven away from Mecca with their sword. In the city of their migration, Medina, people not only welcomed the bearers, but the sword as well. It didn't cease to work even there, and its magnetic force continued to pull people towards it until the whole of Arabia joined the faith. Compared to the population of the rest of the world at that time, the Arabs constituted a tiny minority. A fraction of this minority decided to take the sword beyond the boundaries of the Arabian desert to the mighty empires of Rome and Persia, the shores of the Mediterranean, the coast of Malabar, and the faraway East Indies islands. People after people went on surrendering to this sword and joining the faith. So sharp was the edge of the sword, it simply conquered the hearts. Bodies yielded automatically. It is the sword of truth, whose mere shine eliminates falsehood, just like light wipes away darkness. Has the sword gone blunt? No, far from it. It continues to pierce the hearts of countless men and women every day, in spite of the relentless efforts by persons who have vested interests, who like darkness to prevail, so that they may rob people of their good things. Read below the impressions of some who were recently conquered by the same sword. They are from different countries, speak different languages, and have different backgrounds. Their present addresses are also given. Perhaps you may like to ask them how it feels to be struck by the sword of truth. 1. Leopold Weiss, now Muhammad Assad. Austrian statesman, journalist and author. Former foreign correspondent of the Frankfurter Zeitung, author of Islam at the Crossroads and Road to Mecca, and translator of the Quran. He